Hello everyone, this is the Mad Salvi letting you know that unless things are proven with Twitter posts and stuff like that and have actual proof behind it, treat everything in this thing as a theory. I will try to mark certain things as news and theory and everything like that to kind of let you guys understand, but also, you know, use a critical mind. And I hope you do enjoy. TV, we have finally gotten some investor questions translated. Of course, thank you to everyone who translated these things, the people, even if it is through DeepL or Twitter auto translators or anything like that, which usually ends up being Google Translate. You get the gist of everything. Let me go through all of these. Question 1, is there any validity to the reasons that Mr. Suzuki's selection as a candidate? This is Suzuki, who is one of their executives out there for board of directors. Looking at his career history, he has only worked in the game industry, which is too short to say he has deep knowledge of entertainment industry, and each of the tenure has been short, around 1 year. The judgment based on his efforts after joining the company and expectations for the future, they are basically expecting him great things of him. They're expecting things to grow with him in there. This is what I'm getting from here. They're expecting that this, of course, because, you know, he is one of their upper echelon people, so they're going to be defending him. They're saying that, you know, it doesn't really matter that he had that short tenure. What matters is that he is going to be doing good things in the future. Question 2, about the anti-defamation team. Does it fall under the category of non-practicing law? They didn't answer this one. They refrained from expressing their opinions on appropriateness of the matter in light of the law. We'll continue to make every effort to combat slander and libel. So they don't know, and they're just, you know, just saying, I can't answer that question. Impact the Nico Doga down business performance. We'll refrain from discussing sales. Isn't this what the investor meeting's all about? Discussing your sales? I mean, that's what investors want to know. Why are you going to not talk about it? Maybe because it doesn't look very good on you. We will be aware of measures against cyber attacks. This is not what the question's about. They want to know, Nico Doga is one of the places that you guys have content. Is it going to affect you in the long run for sales or anything like that? Or for reach of your content? That's what they want to know. But they refrain from answering, which is dumb. Company completed acquisitions of its own shares quickly, but is there an intention there? Can't you allocate more of your own investments to human resources? This is a person saying, hey, yeah, it's fine, we're getting money back, but wouldn't it be better spent in expanding the business? You know, we can wait for the money to come back to us. Wouldn't it be better to expand the business, use it on human resources, make your things better? They said, we will invest in human resources and equipment and use the remainder to return profits to shareholders. Of course, shareholders like that, but one of them was like, hey, we see what Hololive is doing. They're getting good returns on this stuff. Can't you guys do the same? That's kind of what I got from this. Question 4, about graduation. What do you think about the graduation of old-timers such as Chihi, Shiko, and Aki, who are directly involved in the projects? I don't want to mention them individually, and I think they have their own reasons for graduation. It may be difficult for them to do their work due to complications and so on. However, I would like to support the activities of the livers is probably what it means, by enhancing support. Actually do it then. If you're going to enhance support, actually go and do it. It remains to be seen, even in the JP sphere, you guys don't support very much. So it remains to be seen if you're just lying, which I think they are. What do you think about the future of the VTuber market? We believe that the market has spread from anime and has potential to expand globally. We believe that we can broaden the base of VTubers by supporting them to be active in various genres and stages. Kind of like what Hololive is doing, because Hololive has their own anime popping out now. Soon has their own anime involving their livers. So they are actually expanding into different things. They're expanding into, you know, music videos. They're expanding out into Dodgers things. They're expanding into a lot of collaborations. They're moving, you know, they already have their headquarters in the US opened already, which is mainly for merchandise and things like that. So if they actually do something, then, you know, it remains to be seen. These are all just questions that they're having to try to please their investors. Question 7, how do you plan to expand sales? And so I think that's biased towards commerce as a characteristic of our business. By business segment to 60 billion yen, because they're trying to expand it to 60 billion yen. I'd like to achieve this goal by growing each of our businesses. But they haven't been doing a great job of growing their actual content business. So I'm not sure they're going to do a good job there. Just looking at it objectively from what they've done, it doesn't look like they're going to do a good job because their management just isn't up to par. Question 8, isn't the average length of the service 2.1 years too short for a young company? Is there any countermeasures? We are working on the retention of excellent human resources by reviewing the evaluation system and revising treatment according to growth. Treatment according to growth. That is a problem. That is a problem. That is the same thing that Nexus is having right now, treatment according to growth. I understand meritocracy. Meritocracy is beneficial, but have a good base of support, which allows your talents to grow. Like Hololive has good base of support. They give people a base salary, which means it's less likely that person's going to be like, hey, I'm not making enough, I need to leave. You have your base salary, which still isn't enough to live off of, from what I've heard, but Imagine base salary plus super chats plus all these other things, and more than 2% for merch sales. That type of thing. It will keep your talents there. If you take your money from your talents and you just toss them out into the wolf pack and, into the wolves and everything and be like, oh, hope you do well. That's not going to go well for everybody at all. Other ones, investment in AI policy. We do not think it's something to be announced, but we believe it will improve efficiency and we will consider incorporating it. We will continue to study AI internally while taking reputational risk into consideration. So they're going to be using AI from what it looks like. The reputational risk is big with AI now. So I'm not sure it's a good idea to move to AI, but they are considering incorporating it, which means that the skinwalking could actually have AI elements from now on, which is sad, which is not good. And you could have moments possibly what people are fearing is if they have moments where, someone is going to, take a break or whatever, they could AI them. Question 10, expansion into Greater China. How do you consider a deal with geopolitical risks? We will carefully assess our cultural differences and situations and deploy. A non-answer answer. Regarding the changes of the internal structure of the company, Mr. Tazumi would like you to know that there are any reasons or visions, such as where to focus his efforts, etc. Mr. Suzuki and I have been dividing our roles in the past. I can't give you the details, but we will continue to share responsibility of executing operations. Prior, the thing is, it's like, you do this, and he's like, okay, sir. And that's pretty much the doling out of duties. You mentioned strengthening the sales of each individual driver or, liver or VTuber, but there are many references to VTAs. How do you strengthen the old guard? We believe that expanding a development in order to broaden the fan base will lead to this. They're not doing a good job at that either, honestly. I have an image of a VTuber version of Umu, and I wonder if the stock price to follow the same path to decline. There's concern that the stock price will go down the same path. The difference is that creating content, not just making programs and following trends. Trends for a large company, you should actually follow them responsibly. Kind of like what Hololive's been doing. I hate putting Hololive and Cover into this all the time, but they're the next biggest competitor. They've been following trends. They've been following things like that, but properly and responsibly. And look how well it's gone for them. The fact is, Nijisanji doesn't seem to have the upper management. I'm not talking about lower management because a lot of times they're not at fault. They don't have the upper management that has the chops to be able to follow trends properly and take full advantage of them, in my opinion. Question 14. Thank you for your company's shares. Want to make a proposal to increase the number of shareholders instead of asking questions. I want you to set up a question session for individual shareholders. If we do it, let's work together with Kabu Berry and Shonen Investment Study Group. We should do it at a lower cost. Recognize the importance of this for individual shareholders. We would like to positively consider how to do it. That's just basically, giving more attention to individuals, I guess, individual shareholders. 15, about VTuber branding. We would like to support the branding of VTubers by providing support to YouTube and by addressing the branding policies of each individual VTuber, which is not bad. Hopefully they do it. What measures are being taken to address the decline of live streaming revenues? We are aware that the decreasing of live revenues, especially in overseas markets, is having a negative impact. However, we feel that memberships are growing due to changing trends. We will continue to focus on content creation and other efforts from the perspective of fostering fan communities. So this person's worried about, things like EN having a decline in live streaming revenues. Because yes, they've had a steep decline after the Selen incident, after all the bad moves that they've made. So they are, they're saying they're going to continue to focus on content creation. Basically, we hope our livers and their content is going to be able to save us from the hole that we have dug ourselves into. This is the way I interpret it. Looks like the hiring of Asian region and EN has stopped. It looks like it's resuming. What are you going to do about it? We're thinking of responding by hiring more English speakers and focusing on non-verbal content, such as music and performances. That's still verbal content. I think what they mean, non-streaming content, and that's what they mean by non-streaming and basically pre-recorded stuff is what they're going to try to focus on, it looks like. And getting more English people here. Isn't a stealth dunamis a stealth operation because it involves a subsidiary? Or refrain from answering your opinion at this time, but we will work at a lawyers to ensure compliance with the Act of Prevention of Unjustifiable Extra or Extra Benefit. Dunamis 18 is about a lawyer that they have that is there's conflict of interest. They're doing something with Dunamis or another agency, another corporation, and this could be conflict of interest with their lawyer themselves. And that's why they're talking about the Act of Prevention of Unjustifiable Extra, blah, blah, blah. That is basically about conflict of interest, seeing if their lawyer is actually going to be having one or is, if everything's going to be fine. Does not fall under the category of non-practicing attorney. Question for the person in the audience. Basically, yeah. Their attorneys, doing interesting stuff. So that's what I take about it. I don't know very much about law, but there is conflict of interest things that happen in contract law from what I understand. I would like to know about the atmosphere of the company and would like to hear from the directors other than the president, Takumi, basically. Please introduce yourself, other enthusiasm. For Suri, there's a good balance of men and women, good balance between business side, the creative side, and the corporate side. I recognize that many people work for the company because they like the company's contents. And that is probably more during the JP side, because as we know on the EN side, there's more creative people than there are managers. We already know this. Mr. Maikawa, what outside directors, the audit director's execution of their duties? Basically, do you have methods of holding people responsible for not doing their duties on this type of stuff? The majority of the board of directors, company directors, internal directors are young, but they're always arguing about what they want to do with the company and the VTuber business. Present that he was a man in the Showa period when he was talking opposed to where he was sitting. And they didn't answer that. From what I can tell, they didn't answer that, or at least the answer isn't put in here. Or at least this is the answer. This part, the second part is the answer. The second part that I read is the answer, which is saying, you know, there doesn't seem to be any method of responsibility other than internal stuff, from what I got from that. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Question 20 about the studio. We are moving forward with hiring for steady utilization. It's difficult to say how this will affect our business performance, but we are aware that the number of breadth of our contents we will provide will expand. They're talking about the new studio that's being created, and that's their question. They're moving forward with the utilization of that studio. Question 21. Shareholder from this year, when would you return profits to shareholders in the term of dividends? So this person's talking about buybacks and dividends and things like that. Dividends go to me. Mr. Tazano, we have decided to return profits to the shareholders by acquiring treasury stock, which has an impact on minority shareholders as well. I'd like to consider basically saying they're going to be giving money back to them. About board members, do you have any business people as well as entertainment-focused personnel? How do you plan to incorporate them? We are aware of the importance and are working on it. We will focus on recruiting not only creative-centric people, but also global human resources. That also, again, like I said, remains to be seen. Question 23. How do you differentiate yourself from a competition in terms of covers, etc.? We have a diverse and well-balanced lineup of livers, including a large number of male livers and mascot livers, and we think that's our strength. Yes, the mascot livers that you forgot, like the recent one, the Shiba Inu that you forgot about the dog and cat days. Back in the day, the cat one, the cat VTuber that you forgot about for the Nyan Nyan days that you were doing, for Nyan Cat. Those are the wonderful livers that you have, yes, but you forget about them. And people, the people like myself who try to hold you accountable will not forget about the times that you do this. Question 24 about VTA. I want you to distribution again. We are strengthening our training and compliance and skills. We are promoting training for mid to long-term success. We would like to consider this internally. So they're not giving anything about VTA. They're just saying that they are going to be continuing it and they're trying to give mid to long-term success for it. From Twitter OP, newly appointed Mr. Suzuki's greeting seems to be in charge of the domestic livers, and I was a little worried because of his unhealthy body shape. So they're saying he's fat, and they're worried that he's not going to be able to last for a very long time. After the end of the session, the person who asked the question, one in the hall, haltingly said to the audience, I think we have a management issue. Do y'all think it's good? He appealed to the audience. So this person here, this specific larger investor, I'm assuming these are all larger investors, or institutional investors, is saying that there's an issue with management. They themselves, an investor themselves, is saying that they have a problem with management. There's a problem, there's an internal problem. We all know this, but they're saying there's an internal problem, which is interesting to see. They went the no super but member route. I mean, sure, they won't be growth if solely relies on membership, as long as they remain the way they are. Once YouTube enabled gifted memberships about 2 years ago, the whales have started giving out gifted memberships more than super chats. These gifted memberships don't show up on places like Playboard, so it masks just how much money the talent is making, since they currently don't calculate gifted memberships. For example, pretty much every person on Scarle's stream are membered. Non-Niji, but a huge number of Mint stream viewers are already membered, since she gets flooded with gifted memberships every stream. Vivi doesn't like to get look like she gets many super chats, but she gets a lot more gifted memberships. So that's the thing. There are people that can get a ton of gifted memberships, and those do go in as regular memberships, but I guess there's an API call that doesn't go well with like Playboard and such, and they can't get those numbers fully. The last paragraph is an eye-opener. Even the shareholders and investors are seeing the BS and calling them out on it. I'm glad that they are. We would, etc. All promises again, and I'm kind of surprised no one asked about EN concert cancellation. Directors quarreling over how the company is supposed to run as a VTuber business. What even upper management is beating each other with each other. Yeah, they're beating themselves up. It's messed up how to effectively run a business when upper management is literally a feudal war-like state. Switch side was the one who pushed Illyra to the black stream. This is getting worse by the looks of it. Even if you remove Riku from the question, it's not really going to change much. Yeah, like I said, Like I've always said, it has an upper management issue. The people at the top, the people like board of directors and others, I've always said that the upper management is the big issue. Management is the issue. It's not the livers. It's not the poor, basic lower level managers that are having the issue. It's the upper management that is really running this thing to the ground. No wonder perms and some things went missing, delayed, not approved. Someone among the directors is clearly sabotaging the company, perhaps on behalf of outsiders or rivals. Who knows about that? That's a big old rumor. Incompetence was the old saying for now, but it looks like malicious sabotage. I did see this kind of stuff in anime. Not very popular. Not a single question about EN branch was ever answered nor asked. It's worth noting that there were questions that were most likely skipped or questions were cut off due to time constraints. It's enough reason to tell me that their investors either don't see any value in EN or, basically they weren't allowed to answer those questions. That type of thing. So question 17 is basically we don't know what to do, but accelerate, pretty much. But yeah, honestly, this doesn't look good on them. It doesn't look good at all. And I wanted to put this out for you guys, all these long, the full rundown of everything, because I wanted you guys to see what was going on here. And of course, like I said here, a lot of people is like question 6, LMAO, actual number of retention rate, quarter 12 right. I see that they're not killing EN just yet. Question 17, there were 24 questions, 6 in all. 6 of them, they refused to give a direct answer. People are just going through everything. Basically just we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. This is not good. This does not breed new confidence, new trust in the people out there. It doesn't breed any sort of trust, honestly, in what is going on there. And it doesn't look good for them overall. And it's sad for the livers. It's sad for EN as well, because I've always been a supporter of the livers. I've always been someone that's like, yes, Nijisanji is bad, but do not harass the livers. A lot of them just want to create good content. They just have a really, really bad management team that is sabotaging them left and right by their incompetence. We have another original song for Marine's birthday. She tends to do this every single time she has a birthday or when it's a special event, or sometimes even when she just wants to. Remember, these projects are all usually funded by the talent themselves. That's how it works in larger agencies like Hololive and Nijisanji and others. The only difference between this and Nijisanji is that Hololive actually can give you a loan, a 0% interest loan. Usually, basically, you just pay back the money that they gave you, and you can get money and connections and everything with, good composers, etc., to get what you want. Let's take a look at what she has.
私のもの、そう私のもの、千の黄金、数百年の財宝、この船に眠る。
Oh god, this goes hard! I love it! I am not going to be playing all of it, of course, because that would be a disservice to Marine. Go to her channel. Take a look at this. It's only been 6 hours and it's already got over 500,000 views. Take a look at it, watch it, enjoy it yourself. Because, of course, I do not want to take any of the stuff. Of course, I'm too small to actually take any stuff away from her. But just out of, my own morals and ethics, I do not want to use the whole of everything here. It is just, it starts out amazing. I'm going to watch it myself in my spare time. I haven't watched it yet. I was just watching this here with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, take a look at this and any other things that I pop up on your own if you want, in order to, get a better feel of it. An update/correction, as I tend to do sometimes. Sometimes I don't get the full story and I get more information afterwards. And of course, get the feelings of other people. When I did this first thing about Mikeneko, there wasn't really any actual community response to this. There was just the information that I originally gotten. Let's take a look. She joins the Rust server for NND veterans. Nico Doga is apparently known for being pretty toxic. The veterans, the IRL livers seem to be, the IRL people seem to be pretty toxic in and of themselves to start off with. That was information I didn't have before. That was information I didn't know before. So I was wondering why they were being so toxic to her. It just turns out they're just toxic D-bags, just like other people can be. On Rust overall. Rust overall is another thing I didn't understand before. Rust overall is a toxic space, unless you have the Kumbaya servers like VCR Rust, where it's more cooperative, and Hollow Rust, where people are just having fun and they know each other. In this case, in Japan, Mikeneko has a pretty bad name for herself. A lot of people took Mafu's side, as everybody, like a lot of people on the EN side. I'm more in the middle. Because they were both very toxic to each other. Yes, Mikeneko did a lot of things that she should be apologizing for, and she should have some kind of recompense for, and things like that. She should get better. As long as she gets better, I will give her a chance. Same thing with Mafu. If they get better, I give them a chance. Any of the negative people that have done bad things even to me, I'll give them a chance as long as they show that they do better. This is just giving you guys an explanation of why my last one maybe was felt a little bit too giving a free pass to Mikeneko. It's not necessarily giving a free pass to Mikeneko. It's just I didn't have all the information out there, and I do apologize for putting things out there without the information. Here we have a little bit more. For those who are questioning if this is legit or not, search up this. You'll find a lot of things. People were talking about erecting a sign for Mafu. Most popular Nico streamers killing Mikeneko in Rust and calling her an idiot, realizing that she's hated, to name a few. There's a thread on X at the bottom page with post some clips of stuff that happened. Watched only 2 clips. One where she met someone, got blanked, and started crying, saying it's that cruel. I haven't even talked to them before. Another one where she tried to shoot someone with a rocket launcher, missed, and got blanked. Not linking the account because it's just sad. She did betray her team, according to this person here. She did end up alone. She does go to teams to get gun to shoot, and she does get killed a lot. One other time, she went to ask a dude named Futon killed her. She did cry due to this. Kato does lend her a rocket launcher, tries to kill him, and although I can't tell what Kato said, she didn't ask if he hated her, although he does sound like he does hate her, and her friend does too from their tone. She asks Futon if he really hates her. He says no. Everyone laughs when the server ended because they all had a good time, not because Mikeneko asked the question or he responded. One person even apologized for the behavior. Multiple people expressed that their treatment of her was in game only. Whether you think that's genuine or not is a different story, of course. She even asked one dude who blocked her on Twitter why he did that. Supposedly they explained that it's because, you know, her site can be pretty toxic, her fans, etc. So he didn't want to have to deal with that. That could be an option. Also, only manages to join the last 2 days is misleading because it only lasted for 3 days. She also ended on the 20th of 28 teams. So in conclusion, some facts are true. 4chan does like to twist facts. Also, it's Rust. My interpretation, some people probably do hate her, but I think a lot of them are just indifferent. They just don't want to deal with that drama. A Nika Doga server in Mika already unliked in Japan. She messed around with one of the most connected utaites, which is Mafu. A lot of people liked them just because, you know, of the kind of person they were. And she was a pariah, and she was used as the butt of jokes. NNG streamers are known for being a-holes. That's why VCR banned them as a condition to have holos on the servers. It's like being surprised that Kick Rumble streamers are mean, and that is the main thing I want to get from here. If they were mean to her, it's because, well, they're just a-holes to begin with. I'm not that kind of person. Maybe that's why it hit me so hard. Maybe that's why it was like, wow, such a big culture shock, just a big shock. I'm just not an a-hole to people. Sometimes I do troll, but you know, it's usually in fun, and I genuinely don't hate people, and I genuinely do not troll very much. I genuinely just mess around a little bit, and that's it. And it's just really with friends, with people I know very well. I don't troll with randoms. I don't troll random people because it is not the type of person I want to be. And that's a little bit of a correction / update on everything with the Mikeneko thing. And, you know, I do want to apologize if it seemed like I was just giving her too much. I do want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, whether it be the people that were mean to her or her herself. As long as she tries to get better, as long as she tries to improve where she is and where she's going to be into the future. She reacted to this a lot better than I thought she would. Than the old Mikeneko would, like a year ago or whatever. She reacted a lot better than I thought she would. I'll give her that. So let's just, if you don't like her, move on. Don't harass or bully anybody. Just move on and live your life. There have been a lot of recent spats with NOA Talents, and one of the reasons why Sayu decided right now to hold off on signing with NOA Talents. She said she's like kind of in a holding pattern. She didn't bail or anything like some people are claiming that she bailed. Some other news VTubers are saying she bailed on it. She didn't bail on it. She took a like, whoa, let's wait on this. I want to make sure to protect my brand and, you know, not doing this, because bail has such a negative connotation. I do not ever want to use the word bail, because that sounds like she was like, whoop, I'm gone. And that was her, you know, unilateral decision, and she didn't do it because of anything she was actually thinking properly or anything like that. It sounds like it was an emotional decision. This wasn't. This was a hard decision that she made based on the things that are going to be pointed out here. This is an official statement of NOA's management concerning the miscommunications between NOA and X-Talent Noli, as well as information in other things surrounding NOA X-Talent Surge VT. We want to preface the statement by apologizing to all people who have been affected by everything that has happened so far. NOA has never wished for such an outcome. Unfortunately, a mixture of poor luck, poor timing, mistakes, misunderstandings among the members of NOA staff led to a situation degrading at a rapid and uncontrollable pace. Thus, trying to rectify the mistakes have been made to clear the air. They're trying to, you know, make a statement out here to rectify these mistakes. Surge VT isn't a part of NOA anymore, and the management team never had any plans to rebrand him, which is good to hear. While Surge did share an interest in idea of rebranding, management decided that its termination would be final. Poor timing and miscommunication are what led to misinformation being spread about the situation. Surge VT's graduation announcement was made too early before he had time to clear all his socials from everything that connected him to NOA. We also wish to point out that, unlike other agencies, NOA gives talents full control and access to all their social media accounts. What they're talking about other agencies is talking about Nijisanji, that we know you only get your password and they can remove it at any time. They have full access to every single one of your socials and they can have full control, as we found out through skinwalking. After events that happened outside of our scope of operation had damaged the reputation and trustworthiness of Surge VT, both NOA and Surge VT agreed that it would be better for other parties to move towards terminating the contract. Everything happened amicably. However, the statement being released early created unnecessary confusion. That seems to be an issue that they really have, releasing things early. We humbly apologize for the confusion or distraught that happened to follow this lack of due diligence on our part. We ask the public to respect the wishes of NOA and Surge VT, of course, to dissociate from one another. It's very good. They're at least doing something PR-wise. Concerning Noli, after a lengthy discussion with Noli following multiple discrepancies, both NOA and Noli agreed that it was in both parties' interest to terminate the contract and secede their cooperation, and that it should happen in an amicable way. However, while negotiations weren't finished and details were still being discussed over among the members of management, a termination announcement was made on the NOA Discord, which I talked about the other day. We wish to express our sincerest apologies to Noli concerning this announcement. It was planned to remain internal, but subsequent to what was evidently miscommunication, one of the managers posted the announcement on the public Discord without authorization. We are aware this was rather unprofessional. We wish to reopen communication so this contractual situation may be solved peacefully. NOA does not have any interest in suing, slandering, or harming Noli. I'm glad they're actually saying it, because that's what matters, as both parties have already agreed previously that they want to move away from such things each other peacefully. There is neither harm nor malice to be found, as the situation boils down to human error. At least they're accepting the fact that it was a mistake. Moving forward, these two incidents happening so close to one another have, for better or worse, shown us the flaws in the way of certain things are running behind the scenes. I'm glad they could realize this. This is good news. They still need to prove it, but it's good news. We have already identified some of the issues that need fixing, what can be improved, and more. We at NOA promise to better ourselves so that this sort of incident doesn't happen again, as our top priority remains the well-being and happiness of the fans, who are the people that give NOA its identity. July 30th, NOA Talent Management. Now, this is an amazing, step that they're taking here. This is a big one. Of course, it's going to be, not seem great. It's like Sayu dodged the bullet. It was sad to see how bummed she was sounding when she talked about how Corporal she talked to didn't pan out, but all things considered, I think it's for the best, and I hope she finds one that really works for her. That's why I really find particular issue with people saying that she bailed out. Bailed out has such a negative connotation, has such an emotional connotation. This was not an emotional decision that Sayu made. This was a smart decision while talking with her lawyer and while making a decision for herself and the PR that she wants to push forward and the content she wants to push forward, as well as protecting her brand. This was not a bailout. This is not bailing out of the situation. This was taking a step back and letting NOA fix itself before she ever thinks of joining them. She probably said, let's talk about this later. Let's hold off on this. Let's let things cool down, and then we can come back to this. That's what I got from her decision. I didn't get that she was bailing out of Billy or whatever that people were saying, that some people on YouTube have been putting out videos for. And she's not doing that. She's actually just, being smart. She has a large following now. She has a larger influence now. So she has to protect that brand. She's growing it very well, and she needs to protect it. 1 strike Surge, understandable. 2 strikes Noli, maybe bad coincidence. 3 strikes with Sayu not being there makes it clear there's something very wrong going on here. And that's why Sayu stayed away. And that's one thing that I want to point out here. That's one thing that I want to keep pressing, and I keep pressing it because I do find it offensive when people put out those types of things to kind of clickbait. I do, sometimes you have to put little things out there to kind of interest people in things, but to, clickbait in a way that makes the person look very emotional, makes the person look very negative by saying bailing out. That means that she pretty much did something against the contract, or she did something that was, against NOA. No, she probably talked to them and was like, I'm going to hold off on this for now. It's not bailing out. It's making a good decision. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, where I like to give back to the community who's given me so much by showcasing small and medium and any size from 5 to 500 to 5,000, whatever it is you want to be showcased, I will showcase you here. We have Aki, who is, as you can see here, she's a country human VTuber who likes doing comfy things and things like that. they do not do lewd content. They are not a full-time creator. They primarily go on Fridays at 2 p.m. CEST, European Standard Time, Central European Standard Time, I think is what it is. They are overall chill and comfy B stream. Usually draw on stream, playing indie, chill puzzle games, sim games, but the regular game is Beat Saber while not drawing. There's going to be massive change in the future. They mainly go on Twitch. They do art and chill streaming. As I mentioned, 2 p.m. on Fridays, they do those things. They want to inspire other people to be creative and meet new people. They also don't mind collabing with people as long as they are able to mesh with the comfy vibes. And you know, the vibe check passes. That's pretty much what it is. Their birthday stream is going to be on the 12th of August, and the big change will happen sometime next year. They do want to start selling more professional merch and visit their local anime convention as a panel artist. And one thing they really love about the VTuber community, which I love as well, meeting so many interesting people and getting to know a lot of people, a lot of VTubers IRL. Even though we want to hide our faces, we do be social creatures. Exactly. We are social creatures. That's why we're on here. And I do want to show you a little bit of what they do. This is just their stuff here.
Can I just go back in? God damn it.
You got kicked by the horse. That wasn't you.
That I didn't do that.
There you go with that, and a little bit of the lore.
In the beginning, there was just darkness. But I knew there was more than this tiny space. More than just this platform. More
They were
than
growing
the
a
busy
lab.
adults that feared me. And
That lab.
one day, things actually changed.
The ringing in the ears is not you, it's the video.
Now the darkness was lonely. Aside from the silent woman that accompanies me everywhere.
Silent woman that accompanies them everywhere.
But soon enough, things began to change again. A truly marvelous change. My world suddenly wide open. And I wasn't alone anymore. The world became tremendously fun with people around.
And that's good. That is what VTubing does. That is the type of VTubing that I want to push. Not the VTubing where you create Google Docs to try to bring someone down because of accusations of either copying or, you know, people being mean, people being this way or that way, or two-timing or backstabbing or, you know, cheating or anything like that. It's not the world of Google Docs to try to bring someone down. It's not the world of trying to knock down your competition. It's the world of growing together. It's the world of bringing everybody up. If you grow, you bring others up. And this is why I do this. I want, in my growth, to help others as well. Even if they surpass me, I hope they surpass me, because that means that I was successful in helping them grow and helping this community somehow pay it back for everything that they've done for me. That is all for right now. Of course, comment, like, and subscribe down below. Thank you for being here. Of course, I love having the conversations with you guys. I love having these things with you guys, and I do appreciate it whenever you guys do comment. Take a look at my description for my socials. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's other places that you can check me out, Twitch, etc. And also check on your screen right now, because there might be a video that you might enjoy. Thank you.